Ryan here from Luke Holmes Academy, hope you're well. 3 lessons entrepreneurs learn too late in property. For me, they don't start soon enough. I know myself and everybody else that I speak to that's involved in the property game and doing well for themselves seem to always come back to the same thing, that they wish they started a lot earlier. You know, it is a good game, it's a great game to be in, it's a great industry to be in. It provides, not only a lot of cash flow if done correctly, but it's enjoyable, it provides a lot of time, you get a lot of time back, exchanging time for money all the time, you're earning money while you sleep, so it ticks all the right boxes. But one thing that people don't do is they don't get started soon enough. And I know fine well, if I had my time again, I wish I'd done it straight out of school. Second thing is they make costly mistakes because they don't get educated enough. Now, a lot of people want to try and save on education. They don't really feel like they should be paying for education, but paying for education and make sure you're getting the right information or just bouncing the right ideas off the right people means that you're going to make less mistakes, and ultimately there'll be a net gain there because, I didn't come back to my first property that I bought. I didn't know what I was doing. I was blinded by the idea of being a landlord. It cost me in excess of, probably 10 grand to put it right from 2 tenants. I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't running checks, etc., etc. And had I just got a bit of education about how to be a landlord, way back in 2007 when it was, I might have saved myself 10 grand, so you can buy a lot of education for 10 grand. So try not to scrimp on the education. You should always be learning as well. Even to this day, I still learn. I try and learn something new every single day, and I try and just soak up as much knowledge as I can, whether that be driving around listening to a podcast rather than listening to music, whether it's reading an article online, whether it's actually speaking to somebody who's probably in a higher position than me or a different field than I am, and just kind of pick their brains and get some knowledge. So you should always be trying to learn, no matter how advanced you think you are in the property game. And finally, I see a lot of, and I personally went through this as well, they get sucked into the operations and it suffocates them and it doesn't allow them to grow any further. I think as you build, yes, you feel like you've got to do everything. You've got to run the properties, you've got to do the refurbishments, or at least project manage the refurbishments, etc., etc. You want to try and save on paying people to do that. But ultimately, the time that you're spending running around, buying things, getting stuff that building materials, whatever it might be, that could be time spent on buying more property, doing more deals, finding investors to fund your deals, meeting with landlords, building relationships, which ultimately will add more properties into your portfolio and add more cash flow into your portfolio. And I think this is one of the biggest mistakes I made, and luckily I spotted it. I spotted that it was, we went through a dry spell of acquisitions, and I spotted why, and I could identify it, and I put things right, and we've kicked on since then. And we continue to try not to get the wrong people sucked into the operational side of things. There are specific people employed to do that part of the job, and the benefit of that means that other people within the business can actually do other stuff that focuses on bringing money into the business, and it works very well. So you've got to make sure you always separate that dynamic. At the end of the day, and most people have obviously huge property aspirations, but I know for my aspirations, there's no way I could build my property, hit my targets, build a property portfolio where I want it to be by doing it myself. It's impossible, the amount of properties that we wish to acquire. So I have to find staff, and I have to find good people, and I have to leverage certain tasks out, and ultimately I have to pay to do that. But by doing that, it allows us to focus on the acquisitions and get to those targets, bring more cash flow into the business. So as long as you've got that weighed up right, then it should be a profitable strategy for you and a profitable structure within your business. But that is one of the biggest things that I do see property investors, property businesses, landlords, etc. fall in the trap of. I am not a landlord. I don't want to be a landlord. There's a big difference between a property investor and a landlord, and you need to make sure that you get that right and you set it up right from the beginning. So hope that helps. Feel free to click below and get involved in the 21-day challenge. The 21-day challenge it's about building a property portfolio within sort of 21 days. Giving you the knowledge and the insight that you need. It's awesome. We're getting some great feedback on that, and there's a lot of support there. So feel free to click below, and don't forget to follow me. Obviously, check out my YouTube channel, Ryan Luke Property, and also head over to either Facebook or Instagram, official Ryan Luke. Take care. Have an awesome day, and I hope this helps your property journey.